With nearly 3/4 of 2023 in the bag, Megacaps still dominate index returns. And this year, unlike early in the pandemic, the stock giants are trouncing unprofitable names. Let's head over to the New York Stock Exchange. We've got Yahoo Finance's Blikre on the floor with more. Jared.
Sometimes it's not the biggest news, but your eyes do open when you see the charts. Let's take a look at the Wi-Fi Interactive. It's been a couple days now since I've talked about Megacaps. So the last was Apple. But today I'm focusing on something else. And let's get a chart here. This is by T.S. Lombard. This is the returns going back to 2020, so just before the pandemic, of the Megacaps in purple here, which I'm tracing out, and then the non-profitable tech. And that's going to include a lot of the disruption companies that you see as ARC components. And we saw that gigantic rise in early 2021. Very, very minuscule rise when you compare what's happened this year to what happened in 2020 and 2021, and especially with respect to the Megacaps. But I don't think I have to remind people of that who look at their 401ks or their statements regularly. You know what? This just landed on the 10-year T-note yield for some reason, and I'm going to go with it. Yields have been up overall. You can see kind of sideways over the last month or so, but they are up today at the upper end of that range. That usually weighs on growth stocks. That usually weighs on the mega caps, but not today. You know, another thing that also tends to weigh on some stocks, the US dollar, when that rises, it is at new multi-month highs here, if not year highs, but that's not weighing on stocks either. And then you take a look at the VIX. Let's get that up. That is printing just about new lows for the year. Here's a look at a year-to-date chart. It's hard to see down there, but very much by the lows of the year there. And this in itself is a very low volatility regime. So I think today we're just seeing a case of everything kind of moving up, almost everything, with the exception for the most part tech. NVIDIA, you can see here, is flashing red and green. NVIDIA spent most of the day in the, well, actually about most of the afternoon in the red, climbing back in the green right now. But I want to compare some of the mega caps against each other. Here's a 3-month chart of NVIDIA. Hasn't really done much since its earning date. That big red candle up there, that was its earnings. Perfectly normal to consolidate after a big move up like that, so I'm not going to ascribe any importance to it. But you compare that with Apple. Apple is at the bottom end of its range, having problems sustaining its revenue growth. Two stocks which have really picked up and caught my eye today, though, are Alphabet and Amazon. Here's that same 3-month chart, and you can see Amazon, kind of the opposite of Apple. It is at that 52-week high right there. Same thing for Alphabet. You can see climbing to the top of its range there. So even among the mega caps which have dominated the indices this year, we are seeing a little bit of bifurcation. So it'd be interesting to see how this all evolves. But for today, most things are going up.
And that's a good thing for a lot of investors out there. Right, Jared, thanks.